Yo, what is up YouTube? Big Gob here with another video. We're gonna be talking about OP-03 again, One Piece trading card game again. And with the new ban list going on, restricting 3 primary cards that are run in a lot of red decks, I want to make my thoughts on a tier list of what is good and what will probably improve from the restricted list, what will not improve, and what will probably about stay around, you know, the same spot. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with probably just the sets that come in. So we'll go ahead and start with Zoro. So even though Zoro lost to 9 cards out of 12 that they would usually run, so usually every Zoro deck would run 4 rads besides that one event list, no event list that dropped recently. But sometimes they run, especially if they're running a Whitebeard engine, they would go 4 Marcos and sometimes 2 to 4 Newgates. And while people can see that hurt Zoro, it was really strong for Zoro. But Zoro has so much flexibility because he's such a simple leader. You have so much flexibility with him. You put 1 Dawn on Zoro and everyone gets a buff. So it's not a limit to like Supernovas, Straw Hats, Slashers. It's to everybody. So I think a lot of new sets are coming out for Zoro, especially older sets from like OP-02 or even like newer ones that have like Buggy and stuff. I definitely think this is still probably the best deck or best leader in the meta right now. I don't see it going down, especially because yellow will be going up, meaning that Zoro, who does good into yellow, will probably have a lot more fun of a time with them than a lot of the other leaders that are coming out. Law, I think Law is still S. I still think he's a top tier deck. Just because he lost Rads doesn't really mean anything. Just because you just replace him with guard points now. Like you literally just replace him with guard points now, and you're perfectly fine. We're doing a little lighting switcheroo right now. All right, Red Green Luffy. Again, like he lost Radicals, and this deck wasn't that great to begin with. It's still not bad. I'll probably put it in C for now, and I'll probably see where I'll probably put it in B. I think it has some stuff, some cool stuff. You have some cool combos with Supernovas and Straw Hat buffs, like restanding, especially with the film package where you can play around that film Zoro a lot after you send it out with the film Luffy. I think it's pretty good. Odin. I don't think Odin is that great. I thought actually a really good one recently with the Zoro deck that I ran, but I think it was more caught off guard than anything else. And just from me playing like a simple Zoro deck into like what seemed to be like a really constructed Odin deck, it didn't seem that great. I'll probably put it at C for now and see where everything where it goes from there. I really like the just be able to restand 2 Dawn in the middle of the turn. I know set 4 Dofi does it for free at the end of your turn, so those things you don't have to worry about. But I think it's still good. You can do it at the end of the turn, so you can play something trash card and then basically refunding yourself. It's very similar to OP-02 Sanji, where you play vanilla and then you just reset 2 more Dawn. Instead you have to trash a Wano Country card. Maybe if it wasn't limited to Wano Country, but it would be a lot better. Doflamingo, I would probably put at A tier. I think it's really good. I do think that it probably didn't go around any better than before after the restriction list, because Doflamingo did really good into the Whitebeard, and especially the way the Whitebeard played, because you put too many bodies down on the board for Whitebeard to deal with consistently. And if you play around Ace really well, it makes it very hard for Newgate to get anything started. But I think now, with more yellow, it becomes harder for Dofi, as well as more fast aggression from all red decks too, especially Zoro and especially Newgate, because Newgate's gonna have more of a Strawbeard playstyle, or some Newgates might run still like the Izo package with like fossil blockers instead, which probably they would like to prefer rather than fighting Strawbeard. But I think Strawbeard is going to do really good into Doflamingo. We have Blurple Kaido. I don't really know how good this one is. I played it a few times. I'll put it at C. We have Blurple Croc. I'll put Blurple Croc at B, honestly. I think it's pretty good. You just get to draw a card. You have a low hand that you want to go for every single time. So you just play a bunch of counters, play a bunch of events, and then you start drawing over and over again with like Loves and your event, obviously. And then you have like Miss All Sunday, which gets you events from trash. So it's really good. I think this deck is this leader's pretty good, honestly. King, just no destination actually. Whitebeard. Edward Newgate. So I've been doing like a lot of like testing and playing on the side, and I have like mixed results. Some players I'll play against Zoro and I'll wash Zoro. I think I dropped like a game out of like the last like 10 games I've played against a Zoro player. But I fought a kid player twice, and it's just too aggressive. It's too aggressive. He could just mash double swing on you, even if he doesn't play the Luffy blocker, or just play like a film package. And it's very hard to deal with. You know, even if you're trying to play like a lot of rush, you're eventually just gonna give him so many cards in his hand that he's just gonna be able to counter out all these little hits, while you're focusing so much on countering out evolve his hits. Maybe I wasn't playing the matchup correctly. I didn't get too much testing with it, so I didn't get to see how I want to play the matchup versus like taking hits or blocking out with one card, and then, you know, trying to fill up my board as quickly as possible. I think it does better into Doflamingo. I think it does good into Law. I want to see how it does into Lucci and Smoker, because I feel like those have always been Whitebeard's hardest matchups. So depending on if those changed or not, will probably determine how good Whitebeard is overall. I still think he does really good in Katakuri. I actually think he does maybe even a little bit better than against Katakuri now, because you're just taking all these hits over and over again, and then you're just countering out the big hits at the end. And then the 10 drop, the 8 drop, and the 7 drop don't really help. Don't really help them as much. The 8 drop does help more, just because you get to put like a character like Ace, which is usually ran 4 of now in Whitebeard, into the life, which is a big one. And then you get 10 drop and then kill the Ace, and then start swinging big. But I feel like at that point, those characters are so heavy to play that you should be able to be comfortable enough to put that down without losing like the next turn or the turn after. Just off like early speculation, I think Whitebeard will probably still be at S. Probably like a low S. I'll probably put like the bottom of S below like Law. Just because it's gonna have a lot harder matchups into Black, I think. And depending how Whitebeard can deal with Kid, I think this matchup will be hard as well. Garp. I don't think Garp's ever ran Whitebeard or Marco, so I don't think the hits hit it too hard. But losing Radical Beam is such a big one because of how squishy Garp is. If you don't set up the board with a lot of blockers like CP9 or Navy blockers, you kind of just get rushed down too fast. I'll probably put it at C with these two, just because like this is kind of like a weird middle ground where they're not bad, but they're not good. Kinemon, I feel like Kinemon is probably like at the top of B right now. I feel like with Lucci being so strong right now, Kinemon isn't really gonna have a good time in this meta. And because Red got nerfed, there's probably gonna be more Luccis and more Smokers, as well as more Yellow. And I feel like Kinemon also struggles with those, so I'd probably put him there. I think he's obviously better than these three. But yeah, Sanji, I'll probably put Sanji in C too. I don't really think he's that great. I don't think the nerfs really like change anything with Sanji. Yeah, I think it's still about the same. Ivankov, probably about the same. I'll put Ivankov at B though. I think Ivankov is really good if you can play to your objective really, really nicely. I think it's good. But again, doing with red aggression and doing with yellow might be really hard for Ivankov. Magellan, I don't remember the last time I seen Magellan play in set 3, honestly. I probably fought against it like once or twice on the sim. but I think that's about it. Probably put Magellan around like B, probably like the middle of B here. There's like more like unordered, honestly. Zephyr, Zephyr probably got a little bit better because of brand new Searcher and Spandom, so you can run both. And you obviously have purple events that are really good. I'll probably put Zephyr as C. I don't think it's bad by any means. Smoker, I definitely think is A tier with Doflamingo. I could even argue putting it between like Whitebeard and Doflamingo, just because I think the combos that you can get with Smoker are so good, where as Lucci they're not as good, but with Lucci you can be more aggressive towards the end game to get your goal away, like actually get what you need. But Smoker, I feel like he clears things off the board really easily. I don't know how Smoker does in the mirror. I'm pretty sure Smoker wins the mirror actually, just because he can deal with things that can actually be KO'd by effects a lot easier than Lucci can. Because Lucci will need more Dawn to take care of things that to get them off the board, or more characters to play too. That's cards, more cards out of your hand, more Dawn that you're using to play cards to get other cards, to get cards off the board that needs to trash cards, unless you're using Kaku. And you also have an Isho, where you Isho the one Newgate that they have, and then it seems really hard from there, honestly. Ace, I think Ace got really hit hard, honestly. I don't doubt that people are going to find a way to make Ace really good again. I know that before the ban list, that an Ace won without using Buggy, which is kind of crazy. But I wonder if they were using like Marco, Radical, Beam, and Whitebeard. I didn't get to see the deck list. I'll probably put Ace somewhere in B, probably at the top of B. Just because I don't think it's going to hit too hard. They're probably going to find ways to play around it. Yeah. Crow. I think Crow is really good. I think Crow deals with Zoro really well, which is something that you need in this meta. I think he also deals with Law very well, just because he has constant resting. You have Gin, you have Kurobi, you have Punk Gibson off life if you get it. You also have Kurobi off life. You have so much things that play off of life, and if they leave one thing rested, especially since everything they have is so small besides their Law blockers, Basil Hawkins, and Rush Luffy, that you're going to be mostly resting and killing everything they have on the board, which is really good. I think the one thing that Crow does struggle with, which is a lot of what Green struggles with, is the removal from black, which is also going to be really prominent now. And I think Crow does okay into yellow. I'll probably put him around B. I think he's really good. And be able to rest blockers on your second attack is really good. So it forces them to either block the first attack or to counter out and then have their blocker rested anyways. Arlong, I really don't think Arlong's that good. Just having to like, it's like the same problem that Iceberg has, except Arlong can attack and Iceberg can't. Well, Arlong has 1 less life and Iceberg has 5 life. Like, you have 4 life. You start with 5 cards, but on turn 2, you keep playing something from your hand. If it was from your deck, where let's say they made Arlong blue and they made it where you can see your deck and you can like play cards with like trigger. Obviously, blue cards would need to have trigger if they made them like blue and yellow. But I think that would be so much better because it'd be comparable to Dofi and it would make Arlong really, really strong, even being at 4 life because he has yellow cards to use. But taking it out of your hand just makes your hand like so much weaker, and you need to make like so many more like explosive early plays to like keep yourself in the game and like try to win the game as fast as possible, because I don't think Arlong can win in like the long run unless you like spawn like 4 7 drops big mobs and your opponent just doesn't deal with them. I'd probably put this between like D and F. Nami, I think Nami is really cheese, but I think that's all it is, and I think people are still figuring out how to beat it. I'll put it at the bottom of B, or like the top of C, just because I think it's good until it's not. People can deal with it when they learn how to deal with it, and I feel like it's less of a leader matchup and more of like leader plus how well does a player actually know how to beat Nami. Iceberg, same problem as Arlong. I just think that you having to play like those cards from your hand, and especially with a leader that can attack. It's just so rough. Might even be like F with King, honestly. Rob Lucci, I would put at S, just because I think Rob Lucci is a lot stronger than Smoker in ways that are more aggressive, which is what this meta is gonna get into. This meta is gonna be like really fast and really hyper aggro. I think Control Kid will come back though to deal with Zoro, which is probably gonna be really good. And I think Kid is also gonna make a return overall to deal with Whitebeard as well. Make it harder for them, which will make Rob Lucci and Smoker a lot better, I think. So yeah, and I think Lucci does well into Law, just because you have so many things to deal with. And if you starve Law, I've been watching a lot of Will to Win Gaming's videos, and they just spammed saying like just starve Law, and it was making sense to me at first too. Even though I started playing as like Whitebeard, that you just need to like not, if you're not playing like Whitebeard, just don't hit him like the 2 life where like he can, not as much, but he can't radical. And he doesn't have as many resources to like defend good cards that he needs alive, or to like literally get anything started. This Big Mom, I would put this Big Mom around here. I think it's very good. Being able to, I'm pretty sure there's the Big Mom that swaps life, that you take one then you put one. This Big Mom just heals. This Big Mom heals if you're at 1 life. I think it's pretty good. Black and yellow is a really good mix, just because you have Shockwave, you have black blockers like Fukuru and Borsellino, and you have your yellow big cards like 10 drop, 8 drop, 7 drop, which is really good. And you have a lot more yellow room for 2K counters, which is really good. And you have a lot more search potential, which is really nice. I could see it being at like A. I think it's fun right here at the top of B. Katakuri, I would put at the top of S, probably, with Zoro. Whitebeard getting nerfed, his hardest matchup, makes it a little bit better for him, especially that you lose Newgates and Marcos and Raz. Marco being such a good blocker that you Thunderbolt it 1 turn and it somehow lives the next turn, and then you're just like, wow, you know, like I wasted my life in my Thunderbolt for it. I do think it might still struggle with Strawberry aggression just because of how fast it is, and I think it's probably going to still struggle against Zoro. But I think it's going to be so strong now because since Black, there's going to be more Black because of how good Red are the Whitebeard nerfs, that Whitebeard or Katakuri is still going to be on top. Also could be a reason why I think Big Mom should be here. Uda, I think with the Whitebeard nerfs that Uda actually got a lot worse. Just because a lot of Uda players would run the vanilla Whitebeard package. Maybe it didn't get nerfed that hard because you're still playing for vanillas, but I know that playing for that 9 drop is really good. Playing for those Marcos is really good. So I'd probably put it around, probably at the bottom of C. I wouldn't say it's as bad as Orlangan Iceberg, but I think it's very close. Starting Luffy. I think Luffy got hit pretty hard. I saw someone at my locals playtesting with it, and it seems that they were doing pretty good. I do think the Whitebeard nerf is pretty bad, and they didn't run Marco as much, but I feel like it wasn't a necessity to run it in Luffy. Just losing Rad Beams is pretty rough. I'd probably put it with Ace right now at the top of B. Maybe it gets better, maybe it gets a little worse. I think honestly it's red, so I don't think it can get that much worse, even with those restrictions. Kid, again with Black being on top right now and Control Kid not being as good into yellow, just being good into Whitebeard and Zoro, I'll probably put it also at the top of B with Luffy, just because again Black is going to be up, yellow stonks are up, Whitebeard stonks are probably going to go down for a bit and then make a huge climb later, but until then Kid is probably going to be around like this weird middle ground. Blue Crocodile, I think I'm not too sure where I would put it and why, but I do think Blue Crocodile is good. You have so much removal. You play like Dofi, but just with like a little less blocker or a little less bodies on board, just because you're not hard playing one and then playing one from leader ability. But being able to remove at the end of the game is really good. As Strawbeard is having a little bit of trouble with Crocodile, I think it's up like 1 out of like 5 games. But I feel like the games are like a lot closer than like what they were in the past. So I don't know how well it'll deal with Zoro, and I've heard mixed reviews on how Crocodile does into Karakuri. I probably gotta test like that matchup honestly myself. I'll probably put it at the bottom of A honestly, just because I think it'll still be good. I think it's only gonna get better as well, and especially in the next set as well. Blue Crocodile is only gonna go up. Purple Kaido probably got a little bit better just because you have less radical beams now. You have less Newgates for survivability, so it does a little bit better into Newgate. I'll probably put it around like the bottom of C as well. Actually, yeah, I think that's a good position to put it. Shanks, I'll probably put Shanks around here too. I don't really think Shanks is that great. I just don't think he's that great, honestly. I don't think it really changed anything. Sakazuki, Sakazuki is just Kobe, right? I'm pretty sure it's just Kobe. You have to rest 3 Dawn, trash 1 card, and then you can KO anything that costs 3 or less, I think. I'll probably put this like right here. Big Mom, this Big Mom is really good actually. I think it might even be better than this one for sure. Again, like being able to like swap cards from your hand into your life is really huge. Like I played somebody who swung like right before the turn that could have been lethal, and they put their bottom life for Ikaku Sovereignty just in case I would have like any rush or anything. So it was a close one for sure, but just like being able to do that is so good. Like you have a Brule in hand, you have a Shirahoshi in hand, and being able to put that back into your life is honestly really good, especially at like 3 life or less whenever the game gets really crucial at that point. So yeah, this is my tier list. Early thoughts on the new ban list. I think Whitebeard is going to probably start around like here maybe, and then slowly climb back up to here, maybe even like here. I think Black is still going to be really hard. I think Karakuri is probably still going to be the same, maybe if not a little bit easier, just because of what you're running. You're running a lot more aggression. That makes it hard for you to do. So unless they get Trigger Smoothie, Trigger Cracker, Trigger Power Sparrow, I think you're going to be in a pretty good spot. And I want to see how Kid goes up and how Ace and Luffy recover. I think Ace and Luffy got hit pretty hard, but again, like Ace only really lost like Marco blockers and radical beams. A lot of Ace players, they don't really run Newgate at 4. They usually run at like 2, 3 or less, or not even. Some of them don't even run Newgate. They're so focused on events that you don't find time to play Newgate. But Luffy, I know Luffy players a lot of the time mainly ran Newgate, and some of them ran the what grid package. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think of my tier list. What you guys think is going to change. Do you guys think a king could win a regional over a Zoro player in 100 games? Let me know in the comments. If you have any feedback in the video, let me know as well. And hope you always have a great day. Thank you.
With someone you are with, babe. With babe. With someone you are with someone you are you are you are you are you are you are with someone you are with someone you are select this select this with someone you are with someone you are